The one thing we didn't touch on is friendships. So tell me, if you could share with me, what did you do to help her build her social connections?
Yep. Yeah. Especially coming out of the pandemic. And I got to be honest, I was nervous because that meant in order to have her build friendships with peers, I had to build relationships with parents. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to make friends. And so I kind of had to challenge my own social anxiety to mingle and to get phone numbers and to arrange play dates. And I did. I asked her teachers, who are the kids that she gravitates the most towards? That was my first step. Can you pass along their parents' contact information? And then I would reach out and I would organize play dates. So we started just with one buddy at a time coming over to our house. I would always organize an activity. That's something that you guys recommend is, again, take the focus off of talking, put it onto an activity. So I would buy crafts and have them set up. They would each have the same exact materials. They would be working across from each other at the dining room table. And before you know it, the crafting turned into giggling, and the giggling turned into, do you want to see my room? And then they would be off playing. And we kind of built upon that with, okay, now we'll have two friends over from class. Okay, now we have a birthday party for Tegan and a bunch of your friends are going to be there. And so we really tried to take advantage of any social opportunity with her peers outside of the classroom so that when she was in the classroom, she had that experience and it would translate over into school in terms of verbalization. So that was really helpful. And another thing we did was put her into extracurriculars. So we tried dance class, we did gymnastics, we did an art class. So again, outside of the school environment, continuing to have these social experiences. And it was a little bit of trial and error. She wasn't really a fan of the dance class. For whatever reason, she just wasn't comfortable there. I don't know if it was the teacher. It was also a situation where parents were expected to wait outside of the dance studio and she was in there, on her own. That wasn't as successful. Gymnastics, on the other hand, wildly successful. She loved the gymnastics coach. She, it was really helpful because one of her primary, symptoms of SM was the physicality of it all, that she would physically get frozen in addition to not being able to get her words out. And the gymnastics, just being able to move her body, that was a great thing for her to practice, in the setting of peers and a different adult teacher figure. And it was kind of a similar situation as the ball story. She was definitely slow with all of the things that were asked of her at gymnastics, but she got there. The only thing that she wouldn't do was jump on the trampoline. It was very bizarre to me because I would think that's like the most fun part. I don't know what's going on with the trampoline. And she wouldn't really tell me. She didn't know why she was afraid to jump on the trampoline. So it was the same situation. I told the gymnastics coach, can we make something bounce on the trampoline? Instead of Olive jumping, Olive, do these jumps. It's Olive, make this sponge bounce. They had one of these like giant sponges, like that you wash a car with. Can we make this sponge go up and down? And she would like slowly bend her knees to make the sponge go up and down. And before you knew it, the sponge was flying all over the place and she was laughing and it was all very silly. So anyway, it was not just school, not just same restaurants and same stores, but also what are some even, different environments where she can be around peers and practice some of these strategies. So that was extremely helpful as well.
Yeah, no, a really great strategy is when you take your friends out to get something to eat. They're so
Oh,
distracted
sure.
with their
Yeah.
friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're giving their order without even any prompts because they're with their friend and they're having so much fun. So there's so many things you can do with peers to create these social communication opportunities outside of a typical play date that maybe, parents are creating these opportunities through baking and through art. And, you were able to, like you said, you did it. You built it up a little bit at a time. And then all of a sudden you expand to more peers, and the confidence they get from working with those peers and building that will expand over to others. So voila, here's Olive now, a fully functioning, verbal,
I
confident
know.
little girl that's got the rest of her life to live and shine and grow.